thoughts on the future. But before we get to that topic, which we'll close out with, we talked a little bit about the risks. They're substantial, right? But they're not risks that are new. We had the same conversation with cybersecurity when everybody went cloud. Right. And I said, well, where's the security, right? Yeah. I think the other thing, there's another study out there that shows that AI is so good at assessing existing software of systems that they've identified, I think, 100-fold or 500-fold more vulnerabilities in existing systems that we've overlooked for a long, long time, which exposes it. That's another form of risk. But that's not the rabbit hole I want to go down with. I might be a little bit old school what this is concerned. I have this belief system of noblesse oblige, the French term for if you are in a position of authority and power, you have a responsibility. You're a servant leader. Okay? That's kind of my entry into this next question.
The Superman thing, high power brings high
something like that. Exactly. You're not given power because you're special. You're special because you use power to serve, right? The governance issue, right? I think all of these cybersecurity issues. How do we look out for the culture of our organization? How do we look out for sustainability, or are we just throwing that out the window? We haven't even talked about the energy aspect of it and all that kind of stuff, and the hidden cost aspect, which I think is going to evolve as well. Right now, it's cheap because it's being financed by us taxpayers and the government, but eventually we're going to have to pay for all this. Okay, and there's all sorts of statistics that say, I don't know, every time you draw a doodle, I don't know how many trees in the Amazon die or something like that. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to make fun of it. But I'm having a little humor here, right? Absolutely. But the question about governance, the question I would have, and I would emotionally assume that in a difficult time where we don't know what the hell we're doing, it's still the job of upper management to say, governments also to say, we see the potential, we embrace it, but there are certain rules. And I think there's also an ongoing battle over laws, rules, and governance, whether it be internal or external. What is your feeling about the governance? Is it something that we need? Is it something that senior management needs to get a handle on? Or does that just slow us down? Does it just interfere with us? Is the transformation of AI so dynamic that whatever governance rules we create can't keep pace with it? What's your take on that?
Okay, so we're talking about different things here. First of all, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, we need to have a well-structured governance of AI. However, when we talk about governance AI, especially when we talk about regulations, the focus is the big players. The focus is the OpenAIs, the Anthropics,
the Bond villains.
Those who are actually creating the LLMs. Or
taking ketamine and going on the integrated.
Absolutely, yeah. What we've talked about so far was either companies who are trying to utilize tools that utilize those LLMs, or the companies that create these tools that utilize the LLMs. These are at a different level, right? So when we talk about regulation and all the risks that there are, and so we're really talking about regulating the big players. So do I think that is important? Yes, absolutely, it's fundamental.
And would you recommend, since this is new for a lot of companies, that they get external help for this?
To make sure that...
to create a framework of what questions do we need to ask, what risks do we need to take to formulate governance. And not that they just take their vision, their AI vision, and put it into one of the open AIs and say, give me a governance.
Yeah, exactly.
Although that might work.
So if you're looking at, let's say a company, I'm in the education environment, right? So we create tools for education. Nice. There needs to be a sense of responsibility which says, hey, if you are building a tool that is going to influence people in their education, in the development of their skills, you need to have a certain set of attentions that you're paying. Because what if I create a tool that helps you with your PMP certification, but if you're black, it tells you, nah, you're not ready, right? Right? Or if
you're applying for a job and you're over 58, the system automatically kicks you out, which, by the way, is a fact. It's been proven.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, or it tells you, no, don't get your PMP.
It doesn't tell you.
You're 58 already.
But it tells the HR people that kicks them out, pre-selects for them.
Yeah, but that really exists.
Yeah.
The example I am making luckily doesn't exist.
I hope not.
Yeah. But it could, right? I mean, if you just leave it to the AI and you feed the AI a bunch of data which says, this is how much the PMP costs, this is the investment it goes into, of course, the AI might reach the conclusion that, hey, guess what? If you're 60, why do you get your PMP? You're only going to use it for 5 years. It's not worth it. Right? So clearly this needs to be addressed.
Now, you say, yes, laws and governance are something for the big players, but don't you also think that on a lesser level, even small and medium-sized companies need to have a basic framework of governance?
The type that we're just talking about now?